Hey guys, Jake here with another deck profile, and today we'll be doing my Predaplant deck, which Predaplants are super cool, super fun. They're my second favorite fusion deck next to Frightfurs being my first favorite, but this is a super cool deck, and I just can't wait to get into it with you guys, so let's get into it. Starting off, we have 3 Cerescient, I believe that's how you pronounce it. They have really weird names, by the way. But basically, he's just, he's a hand trap. Your opponent attacks you, you can special summon this. When it battles, you can destroy itself and the opponent's monster. And when it's destroyed, you search for any Predap or Predaplant card, basically, from the deck to hand. So, really fun card, really good. Always have at least 2 or 3. Next is this is Sundew. Basically, he's super polymerization. The deck has a gimmick of putting counters on monsters, on like your opponent's monsters, and makes them levels become like 1 and all that such, so they can get over it and kill them with some effects. But this one's basically like a super polymerization if your opponent has a Predaplant counter on it. So really good. And if not, you can just fusion him with your own monsters then without polymerization. Next we have Orphis Scorpio. Everyone knows what this guy does because he's probably one of the best ones in the deck. Just ditch a card to summon a Predaplant, and most of the time you'll probably go for the Cobra. But since I'm running a pure build, then there's just, depending on the situation, he'll help. I'm running 2 Spinodinea. He's the biggest one. That's just like a generic 4. Basically, it's summon, put a counter on something. If you attack something with attack equal to or lower, you can special summon a Predaplant from the graveyard. So he's a really cool card as well. Next, we run 2 Flytrap. The reason that I'm running Flytrap is just to put counters on things, basically, and you can basically level him up depending on what he kills. So if he kills like a level 4, then he'll gain the 4 levels and all that such. So there's things you could do with that with Xyz summoning and such like that, synchro summoning. I'm running 1 Hydra. He's basically the kaiju of the deck. If your opponent has a monster with a counter, summon him from hand or grave. So that's pretty cool. And it doesn't limit him once per turn with the grave thing. So, like it does, but basically, you destroy him and I can tribute your monster and bring it back, and then you destroy him again and it's my turn, I bring him back and such like that. So that's what I meant by that. I'm running 1 Banksia Ogre. I do like this card. He's pretty cool. He's I think he's the strongest one out of the main deck. But it's basically, he's basically a kaiju as well. Your opponent has a counter, summon him. If he leaves the graveyard hits the graveyard for anything, you put a counter on every monster that your opponent controls. So he helps out with that. And he's a tuner, so you can go in for some synchro plays. 1 Cordyceps, basically all he does is, hey, during the standby phase, if he's in the graveyard, special summon like 2 level 4 lower Predaplants from the graveyard. So you can go into some plays with that. You can fusion summon again, whatever really. And then of course, which everybody knows, Darlingtonia Cobra. Just add polymerization from deck to hand. That's all he does. That's it for the Predaplants. The other stuff I'm running is 3 Lone Fire Blossom, because everything's a plant in this deck, so just to deck thin and to summon whatever Predaplant you're needing at the time. And then the last monster, I'm running a Tragoedia, and the reason I'm running Tragoedia is for Greedy Venom, because his the requirement is a Predaplant and a level 8 or higher dark monster, and he just fits that bill. And if he's attacked, and you can summon him and such like that. So that's the reason I'm running him. And I do like him. I think he's a pretty cool incorporation to the deck. So that's my like spicy tech, I guess you could say. On the spells, 3 Predapruning. It's just your premature burial for Predaplants only, so really good card. 1 Predaponics, basically each turn, pay 800, but, special summon a Predaplant from the grave. So this can help out every now and then. Well, of course, you have the 2 polymerization and the fusion substitute, which counts as a polymerization. We have the refusion, and I'm running the ultra polymerization, which I think is a super cool card in this deck. Just being able to go into it, like, you know, pay to fusion summon, but also have the possibility to go into a synchro summon possibly as well, so really enjoy that. I have an instant fusion, 3 Allure Darkness for the draw power in the deck, because all they really have is searching, so this helps out with them a lot. 2 MST for just back row removal. I'm running a Mark of the Rose, which I may bump this up if I can get some more. But I think this is really good for the for this format. You know, being able to, oh, you've already fusion summoned or whatever, so you know, banish a random monster, banish your Sundew or whatever, and then just being able to steal an opponent's monster, and of course, you know, link summon with it. So I think this is awesome for this, you know, for this format. And if I can get some more, I may bump it up to 2, possibly 3, I don't know. But I'm running the 1 for right now until I can get some more. So that's that. And of course, run a Raigeki and a Solemn Charge. And then I'm only running 1 trap in this deck, which is the Predaplanet, which is basically every time a monster has a counter removed, I get to search my deck for a Predaplanet card. So really cool, and then I can fusion summon if this is in the graveyard. So decent card. On my extra deck, we're running 2 Chimera Flesia. Basically, anything with a level equal to or lower, you banish it, and if it attacks a monster, then it gains, I think your opponent's monster was 1,000, and then it gains 1,000, something like that. Yes. So basically your opponent monster loses 1,000, it gains 1,000. So it's really good at getting over things. Really good card. Next you have, you know, probably the ace of the deck, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. An amazing card, being able to just steal a monster's attack points, and I think it steals a name as well, and basically when it dies, just blow up your opponent's special summon monsters. Really good card. You know, this, if it fits late game, and you just need something to push, this guy, he pushes. Really good. You have his evolved form, the Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. This is one of my personal favorite cards of the deck. It's just a 33 beat stick that can make an opponent's monster's attack become 0. And, you know, also it just negates their effects. And if you're just, you know, needing some push, that's what it does. And whenever it comes back, it just wipes your opponent's board, which is phenomenal. And it's such a great card, and he's actually pretty easy to summon with this deck. 1 Supreme King. Basically, it's just stealing a monster, dealing some piercing damage, and, you know, another target for Greedy Venom, but really good card for this deck. For the instant fusion, I have the Sea Monster of Theseus, and it's just, you'll see why I'm running it. I'm running a Black Rose Dragon and a Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Basically, I like to Synchro Summon, but it's, you know, not the main thing in this deck. And basically, my only tuner is Banksy Ogre. So if I have like the level 1 or whatever, the Cerescient or the Cordyceps, if I'm able to bring them out, which is pretty simple, then these are some options. And of course, since it's a plant deck, it goes well with Black Rose's other ability, but you know, you'll probably just use it to blow up, but still, these are some options you can choose. To go with the Sea Monster Theseus, I'm running a Ultimaya Sulkin, and of course I'm also running the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon to combo it off. It's going to be a lot easier whenever the Link 2, whatever that is, that's coming out in the structure deck comes out, to be able to summon it easier, but that's how it is so far. Under my links, I have a Link Karibo because I have about 4 or 5 level 1s in the deck, so, you know, why not? It's a good card anyways. I have an Underclock Taker, just to help, just, you know, do a bit more damage. So, you know, target something with the Starving Venom, have the Starving Venom get over it, just deal more damage, basically. And of course, I have the 1 Decode Talker. And that's gonna wrap it up for my Predaplant deck profile. Like I said earlier, this is my second favorite fusion deck ever, and it has a lot of potential. It still, with the link format, it has slowed down quite a lot. But luckily, with the fusions, they are just big beaters, and you don't have to swarm with them. So you don't have to have like 2 Starving Venom and a Chimera Flesia and all that such to win the game, because they're just really big cards. And of course, they do well. They're big beaters. They do well. I like the whole the counter concept of like we can have kaiju's with the counters, or we can just destroy them, or all as such. So it's a fun deck. I know my build's not the most competitive, but it's a really fun deck that I've made recently. And I hope that you all really enjoy this deck. If you have any suggestions or comments like that, leave a comment down below. If you have any ideas for any suggestions or help for me that you can give me for my deck, I greatly appreciate it. But just like, comment, subscribe, and just thank you guys so much, and I hope you all have a great day.